In this video, I want to go through some of your options for getting people into the system from the beginning. So new students, new transfers, and those of you who are new clients, this will be everybody. There's a number of ways to do it, and I'll show you one in detail, and then the other ones you can think about implementing as well. But we're going to, in this case, start with an event type that I've defined here that has, it's called NeoChapel, and you can see that this has an email address that nobody in their right mind owns. So and we have an app over on the right that's new. It's in a state of grace. Nobody has entered or used this app. So this is what the app might look like when somebody logs in, logs in for the first time, and you want to figure out if they're in your program. And so we're going to create an event. And so for you, this would be probably your chapel program. And we'll call it Welcome to NeoChapel. The title doesn't really matter. It's what matters here is that we select the type. So for you, it's going to be chapel. In this example, I'm going to use NeoChapel and set a 0 credits for it. And nothing else here really matters. We can put the date in the past. That just means it's never going to appear on this screen. And you'll see in a minute what we're going to do with that. So this will be an expired event that has no credits to it. But once we've created it, we're going to generate a text code for it. So once that comes up, we'll generate a general use code. So this is a code that we'll be able to put in a message to new students, so TPTW. So you might, at the beginning of the semester now, send an email out saying, we're going to be using iAttended. Here's the link for the Apple Store. Here's the link for the Android, Google Play. When you download it, enter this code. And so it's fairly obvious. There's nothing else here. So we'll enter this code. So TPTW. And it's going to try, once I hit submit, it's going to go into the server and realize that this is what kind of event it is and what school it's at. And it's going to, once it's thought about it, come back and ask me, all right, so we've saved that, but we need to know that you have an email at iAttended app XYZ. And so because, in this case, I'm not in a rush, I can confirm my email. And now all I have to do is type in my email, right, which is bob@xyz.com. This isn't going to work because I don't have this email, but this will then send them a confirmation. Once they're confirmed, everything now is all in order, and when they come back into the app, their app's going to be filled with NeoChapel events. So this is what it will look like for somebody the very first time, because unless they log in with an institutional email address, and some might, they are going to have to go through that step. Let me go through another example though. So when to fill up this screen, we want somebody to have subscribed to this event. So I'm going to do this a different way. So this is a real event. So this happens, another way you can do this is just do this in a real event. And I'm going to, just to save scanning the QR code here, I'm going to generate a one-time code and enter this. So VVTX, and submit that. Now this is an email address, example of an email address that I've already confirmed. And look what happened. After registering, scanning that first event, it has filled up my app with all future chapel events at that school. So that's what you're after. This is what it will look like when somebody scans that 0 credit event. But if they haven't, it doesn't matter. They'll come to your first chapel and you'll have a text code you'll give them, or you'll have a QR code that you'll give them. They scan that, and the same thing will happen. It's just that they're earning credit at the same time as well. So students or users can come to their account page now and look at all of the subscribed events, all the events that they are now subscribed to. Some of these ones, like Video Chapel, Special Chapels, are in here, even though I didn't attend those, because they were set up as being subtypes of chapel and indicating that they should be displayed. So if I'm in chapel, you're wanting me to see special chapels, and you're also wanting me to see video chapels. So you can wrap up a whole lot of enrollments all in one by making those children of that main event. So this is probably a primary way that you would have people do this. And you saw, I hope you noticed how fairly easy that was. Is just one thing, one code, and they're in. And if we went through those steps and I confirmed my email, all of these would also automatically fill in. Your other option is to preempt this and tell us at the beginning of the semester who you're expecting. And so what we would do here is go to a period. So we'll pull up Chapel for the fall of 2020 and go to this upload data section. And we have now this expected participation. So you can upload this as a spreadsheet, or you can also, if you're adventurous, you can set up an API so that you have your own database. Your IT department send us the same kind of information, and there's descriptions in here how to do this. But if you want to do it right out of your office, you can do it as a spreadsheet, and you can download a template of what it would look like. But all we're asking for is a list of email addresses of the people at your school that you are expecting or needing to go to chapel in the fall. So the email will be their school email, so bob@school.edu, and you'll select here auto subscribe. So what's going to happen is, if we already know them, if bob@email.com is already in the system and you're uploading, if this is a chapel event type, we are going to see if they're already subscribing to chapel events, and if they're not, we'll subscribe them. So the first time they open their app and confirm, and we know that who they are, they will see all of their future chapel. You might do this if you're assigning people to small groups for this semester, or to discipleship groups or leadership teams. You can upload 10, 20, 30, 3,000 if you want to, but you can upload smaller groups. And so they are going to see their chapel program. They're probably already in it, but now they'll also get your leadership event. Their small group is going to be interspersed in here as well. So this is a second way for you to do it. The other advantage of this, of doing this expected participation, and even if they, before I show you that, even if they haven't yet got into the program, so that's going to be the case for freshmen, and if you're a new client, this will be everybody. You might be uploading this in the middle of August before anybody's ever been to an event. We hold that list off to the side, and so that anytime somebody new comes in, we say, oh, do we have news for you? So we're going to go and look and see if you had wanted us to add them to that event. So you can do this at the beginning of the semester, and we'll just, as soon as we recognize them, we'll put them into as subscribers to those events. But here's the other payoff for this. If we go back to I know this is working for the summer. So I've uploaded a list for summer 2020. And so people that I expect to be attending chapel in the summer, this is my end of semester report. So it's going to be telling me who's been in chapel, just 2 people. But I have this ghosts button up here. So this is going to compare all of the people that have attended chapel this summer with all of the people that you told us would be attending chapel this summer, and it will go and collect those, and we see that XYZ has not attended. So you can click on this link, and it will open up your email application to address them, send them an email one by one, or you could download that as a list and do a bulk email if you wanted to as well. So Those are the two ways where basically three ways. You could create a zero credit event, send out a text code, and so your users, your students can just do this at home before they come to the first chapel. That would be preferable, I think, to having 1,000 people trying to figure this out the first day. But even if they haven't, and there will be some that don't, they'll just ignore their emails. They can just scan a QR code, enter that first code, and it will work just the same way. The only difference is they're getting 1 credit for it. The second way to do it is to upload that list. What they'd need to do, if you're doing this, what they would need to have done is verify that they have a school address. Now, if the first time they try and scan some event, we're going to ask them. But if they want to do it manually, they can come back here and just enter any address, but enter their school address. Once we verify that, we see, oh, you had already uploaded that. We'll put them into that program. So those are your options, and let me know if you have any questions or want any help. But I hope that is helpful to you.